Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. You know, it seems to me that ever since XRP achieved legal clarity in July of last year, and also since the charges against Brad Garlinghouse specifically were dropped because they were bogus, clearly that was an intimidation tactic, the SEC bringing charges specifically against Brad Garlinghouse in a non-fraud case. Well, ever since all that's been put in the rear-view mirror, I've noticed that Brad Garlinghouse is having a little bit more fun than he used to on social media. He's not afraid to say blunt things, and he has ripped into Gary Gensler yet again. And he's also on top of that publicly stating that Gensler is basically going to cause Biden the presidential election in the United States here in November. And there's a lot of moving parts to that, and I don't think there's any one thing that's going to result in this. But this is increasingly a big deal, and for those politicians that think that they can be anti-crypto and get away with it, you got another thing coming. In fact, one politician found out last night that he just lost his job. I will happily share with you exactly what happened to this anti-crypto politician, and they should let that be a lesson. You don't mess with the crypto, folks. There is no anti-crypto constituency. There's no anti-crypto group that's going to vote for you if you're a politician. But there is a pro-crypto constituency. That really does exist. And if you go against our interests as pro-crypto individuals, you're going to have a bad time. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so Kim Gensler, the supreme leader and dictator over at the SEC, he was on Bloomberg yesterday. There are a couple of video clips that started circulating. There's the one up top here, and he was talking about how, look, there's just, there's 15 to 20,000 different cryptocurrencies out there. There are a lot of entrepreneurs in the middle of a lot of what's going on with them. And so if you've got 300 coins trading on an exchange, what are the odds that there's not some sort of entrepreneur there? So it's the same rigmarole, the same failed application of the Howey test. He's still pushing it. He's wording it a little bit differently. Because he in these video clips actually, he didn't cite the token itself being a security, and he didn't. I don't know if he's going to retire this phrase, but at least in this instance, I didn't hear him say crypto asset security, which is a thing that he made up with the SEC. He was talking about them being used in schemes that themselves were investment contracts, which actually gets a little bit closer to how it's supposed to, how you're supposed to look at it. So maybe he's acquiescing a little bit further there. But then there's also this quote in this bottom video clip here, and he said, and this is a quote from Gary Gensler, "This is a field where the leading lights from a couple of years ago are either in jail, about to go to jail, or awaiting extradition," end quote. Now, that's rich, isn't it? Because you know that, you ever heard of SBF? You ever heard of Sam Bankman-Fried? More on that in a second here. First, let me share with you what Brad Garlinghouse had to say. So he shared that video clip, and he's not holding back here. He wrote, "Absolute nonsense coming from Gary Gensler today." And he tagged him too. "And this slander about all crypto execs going to jail from the man who completely missed FTX and actually cozied up to SBF and wasn't even invited to the DOJ announcement about Binance. If he was really working for the American people, as he says, he would have been fired a long time ago. Gensler will cause Biden to lose the election." Golf clap for Brad Garlinghouse, everybody. Spot on. Like, the audacity of this guy to make all of these claims against crypto executives, and he was all buddy-buddy with SBF. You couldn't sniff out the outright Ponzi scheme that's under your frickin' nose there, you idiot stick. What is your problem? What is your malfunction, Kim Gensler? And so that's obviously true. And by the way, Attorney John Deaton had something to say about this. He also reposted that video clip, and he said, "As the person who literally sued the SEC on behalf of tens of thousands of small investors, I can state with 100% conviction that Gary Gensler and the SEC has caused more harm to investors than any other person or entity during the last several years." And I'll just pause it right there. Is there anybody listening that disagrees with that? Is there a single human that disagrees with that? I doubt it. Because I will tell you this. The SEC has caused me more financial harm than any hit I've ever taken in crypto because they're manipulating markets. That is the net result of what they're doing, picking winners and losers, saving ETH, attacking XRP. That's the end result of what's happening here. They're supposed to be protecting us. Does anybody out there like this particular brand of protection? Do you feel a little safer? Do you go to sleep easier? Oh, that Gary Gensler's got me. Oh, I feel... No, nobody, not one single freaking human on the damn planet has ever thought that or said that. Unless in a mocking way, right? It doesn't exist. That person doesn't exist. This is not the case in the stock market. It's because of their behavior against a specific asset class. That is it, period. It grinds my gears, folks. Anyway, Attorney Deaton continues. What Gensler fails to disclose is that he personally met twice with the Bernie Madoff of crypto, SBF, and has yet to turn over all the notes and documents related to those private meetings. Note to Gary, if you think I was a pain in the ass as a private citizen working for free, wait to see me as a U.S. senator working on behalf of American taxpayers. Golf clap for Attorney Deaton as well. And yes, by the way, he's of course running for Senate against Elizabeth Warren. He absolutely can win. And it's been so cool seeing all sorts of major players in crypto come together, even those that historically haven't liked Ripple and or XRP. And they're supporting Attorney Deaton here, including the Winklevi, which is the plural form of the Winklevoss twins. And you got Brad Garlinghouse, and I think Chris Larson did too, if I'm not mistaken. The point is, there's been Mark Cuban's behind him, Mark Cuban of Shark Tank fame. It's really cool. It's very astonishing. You'll love to see it. And so they wouldn't be doing all of that if there weren't a path forward. It's an uphill battle, but he's getting support. And so to think that it couldn't happen, I think you'd be mistaken here. We'll see what happens in November, but I'm very optimistic here. And also when it comes to crypto, and obviously Elizabeth Warren, one of the most anti-crypto fools out there, in the world of politics, you might want to rethink that. Like I keep saying, it's not a winning issue. There is no anti-crypto constituency. Doesn't exist. There are people that don't like crypto, but are they passionate about that? Are they voting based on not liking crypto? No, they're not. If you ask them about like the top 50 things that are important to them when it comes to choosing how they're going to vote, is it even in the top 50? I doubt it. Or it'd be way at the bottom, even if in the top 50. I can't imagine. Like the anti-crypto people, they have their opinions based on ill-informed positions, but information rather. But it doesn't matter to them enough that they're going to vote a particular way. It just now on the other side, like I keep saying though, we in the world of crypto that see that our opportunity for life-changing wealth, some politicians and bureaucrats are attempting to take that away from us. Yeah, we do care, and we are going to vote based. That's going to weigh heavily for us. I'm not a single-issue voter, but it weighs heavily. It absolutely weighs heavily. And if somebody wants to be a single-issue voter over this because they despise, I don't blame you. I totally understand where you're coming from because it is that big of a deal for a lot of people. So there's a sign that things they are a-changing. So take a look at this. This is a headline from June 17th. Crypto super PAC spends $2 million on attack ad targeting New York lawmaker. The Fair Shake Group, a political action committee, PAC, P-A-C, backed by crypto firms, including Ripple and Coinbase, has spent more than $2 million opposing the incumbent in the Democratic primary for New York's 16th congressional district. According to the United States Federal Election Commission data, Fair Shake spent more than $2 million on a media campaign opposing Democratic Representative Jamal Bowman's re-election. As of June 16th, outside interest groups had contributed roughly $9 million opposing Bowman, who is facing off against Democrat George Latimer in a June 25th primary. And so, as far as that large portion, the $2 million, again, backed by Ripple and Coinbase, that wouldn't have gone to fight against Bowman if he had not been anti-crypto. But he is anti-crypto. And so take a look at, there's this post, this is from June 16th from AOC. Here's some fake outrage from her. She says, people everywhere need to understand how disgusting and abnormal it is for special interests to dump nearly $15 million to unseat a member of Congress in a primary. This is corruption. It is a core threat to American democracy. It also fuels Trump. And then she wrote, support Jamal Bowman. Okay, so this is fake outrage. So now suddenly, when it's not going the way that she wants, now, at this point, now she's suddenly magically against political action committees. She's against the investment. Okay, but then when it's in support of it, it's complete opposite here. It's completely disingenuous. It's just fake outrage, trying to get people all ginned up here. Now, Jamal Bowman ended up losing his job last night, and so I responded to this last night, and I wrote, let this be a lesson to not F with crypto. And I censored myself there. They're going to learn the lesson the hard way. If you're going to go against the interests of crypto people, by the way, lots of wealthy people, millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires in crypto, if you're going to go against that, you're going to have a bad time. And the more time passes, the worse it's going to get as crypto increasingly becomes adopted. That's why this money poured in, specifically from that super PAC. And so there was this post from Dan Spuller last night. Dan Spuller, head of industry affairs at Blockchain Association. And he wrote, Jamal Bowman, one of the most anti-crypto members of Congress, was soundly defeated tonight in New York 16's Dem primary. Jamal Bowman's record? Voted against anti-CBDC bill. Voted against Fit 21. This is all crypto stuff. Voted against overturning pro-Gary Gensler SAB 121. Top ally of Elizabeth Warren, anti-Bitcoin. Rip Bowman opposed bipartisanship, but we're hopeful his successor, Latimer, will be a strong voice for New York, so and so forth. Okay. So that, again, the millions of dollars that went to campaign against him would not have gone there if he weren't anti-crypto. Was it worth it, Bowman? Was it worth it? No, absolutely not. Now, this guy, I mean, he's an actual stupid person. You may remember, there's the reason, this cracks me up. It was going to crack me up. There's a reason for those of you looking at the screen. There's this fire alarm right here. There's a bill, and this is actually what he did. I mean, it has to have been illegal, right? And so there's a bill that he didn't want voted on. So he just, it's on camera. He went to a fire alarm, pulled it to prevent it, and then he later claimed that he thought the fire alarm opened a door. I kid you not. That's the type of genius level stuff we're working with here in Congress. The anti-crypto folk, my freaking God. Oh, it's hilarious. How is this real life? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you're like you're around in like the 1700s and you're like the founding of the nation? And you're just, can you imagine if you could see into the future? Like, that's the type of like intelligence a member of Congress would have. You know, a couple hundred years in the future. Like, you gotta be kidding me. But that's what we're working with. Like that guy was previously elected. Now he's out. Oh man, you love to see it though. So all that to say, when Brad Garlinghouse, just to bring it full circle here, when Brad Garlinghouse says Gensler will cause Biden to lose the election, well, there's a reason that at least Biden's been paying lip service. He and his crew have recently, just over the last month or so, have been paying lip service to the crypto folks. I think it's too little, too late. All this, but they are recognizing, oh yeah, there's a real constituency out there. So it's not going against crypto is not going to be a platform of either party moving forward. So it's already not for the Republican Party, but the Democrats. Vast majority of them are anti-crypto, and you can look at the voting records of them to see that. There's a small percentage that are pro-crypto, and I give them all the credit in the world, because for me it's not about political parties, but who's pro-crypto. But increasingly, you're going to see those people that are anti-crypto. They just don't exist in politics because it's not a winning position. It's history will show that they're on the wrong side of things here. So, as far as what it means for the election, it's one more thing. I already think that this election this November is going to be close. That would be my guess, and it's just one more thing. That many more people not voting you, and there's going to be some close swing states. So, presumably anyway. So it doesn't make sense that they're even doing this, but they are doing this. They're still anti-crypto, and that's the reason Brad Garlinghouse said what he said. But then look at what just happened with Jamal Bowman. I'm not pretending like it was a one-issue thing. I'm certainly not, but it hurt him. It's unknowable to what degree, but why would you risk it? So all these people there, they're not going to be here anymore. They're going to have to get new jobs doing something else. You'll love to see it. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.